Good morning everyone, I am Malong Karim An and I am a member of Group 2 which will be your facilitator today. So before we proceed to our discussion, let's have first our recap of what was our lesson last meeting. So last meeting, we discussed about the curriculum design which was discussed by the Group 1. So, curriculum design is all about the arrangement of the elements of the curriculum, and they also mention the different curriculum designs and other major forces of it. So, in connection of the topic last meeting, the chapter 1, curriculum design, we will now discuss about the chapter 2, curriculum development. So there are different curriculum development models that we can use for us to be able to write or design our curriculum. So let's have first the first slide of different curriculum models. So curriculum development models are based on a clear and consistent understanding of various scholars of the nature of curriculum as a discipline and as a field of study. So it is essential that we develop that when we are going to develop a curriculum, it must be based on a clear and consistent understanding, since we all know that developing an effective curriculum is a core component of providing a successful education, because this will be the process of creating and improving the course that will be taught in a school or in a university. And there are different curriculum scholars that presented their models, and as we go on with our discussion, let's identify who are those scholars and what are their models that we can use that pwede nating pagbasehan when we are going to design or create our own curriculum. But all in all, that remember, when we hear the word curriculum development, remember the word process, because curriculum development is a process of developing a curriculum na kung saan is dito nakapaloob yung iba't ibang steps, procedures, yung mga models na pwede nating gamitin, di ba? Na pwede nating gamitin kapag tayo ay magtuturo or mag-handle ng isang klase. So remember the word process when we hear the word curriculum development. So proceed to our next slide is that we have 3 categories of curriculum models. We have linear, cyclical, and dynamic. But first, let's discuss the linear model. So linear models of curriculum development. So the linear models of curriculum development prescribe a rational step-by-step procedure for curriculum development, starting with objectives. So question, why are these models called linear? So from the word itself, line, that it is like a process in which it follows a path of one line, di ba? Paano ba tayo mag-drawing ng line? Basically, we start from either sa top to bottom or from left to right. But the very point of this is, of course, when we are going to draw a line, nagsisimula tayo sa beginning up to the end. Horizontal or vertical line, lagi tayo nagsisimula tayo, of course, sa beginning. And just like these models, linear models of curriculum development, na kung saan is nagsisimula naman sila from the objectives up to the evaluation. So, parang when we are going to proceed to the step 2, of course, there will be a step 1. Before we proceed to step 3, there will be a step 2. Before we proceed to step 4, of course, there will be a step 3. So, there is a step-by-step procedure for developing a curriculum. Kaya na tinawag siyang linear because um, it has a rational step-by-step procedure na unlike sa other models ng curriculum development na of course may pagkakaiba yun eh. And malalaman natin as we go on with our discussion. So these linear models of curriculum, we can see that it follows a path of one line from the step 1 to step 2, step 3, step 4, and so on. The linear model is we have first the Tyler's rational linear model. Ralph Tyler at the University of Chicago developed the first model of curriculum development. So, since it is the first model developed of curriculum development, for many years it has been the basis. It has been the basis of all the curriculum development models that has been developed by other curriculum scholars. So, yung model ni Tyler is naging siyang basihan sa paggawa ng mga other curriculum model since nga siya yung pinakaunang na-develop na curriculum model. And that Tyler argued that curriculum development should be logical and systematic. So what do we mean by this? So what do we mean by logical and systematic? So, it should be logical because we have the reason. We have the reason on how we can develop the curriculum na hindi lang basta-basta tayo gagawa or mag-create ng isang model ng curriculum dahil sa gusto natin. Of course, we should have our reason kung bakit natin to gagawin and ano pa ba yung pwedeng maidagdag natin sa sa ating beneficiaries ng model na yun. So, it should be logical and it should also be systematic because it has to follow a step-by-step procedure. After mag-come up tayo na paggawa ng curriculum and we have our reason, dito na papasok kung paano ba natin gagawin yun. Ano ba yung mga steps, yung mga procedures na gagawin natin para ma-implement or para ma-propose mas maging effective yung model, yung curriculum model na ginagawa natin. And sabi daw that this Tyler's rational linear model is the most famous and the easiest model to be followed. So, later on, I will show you the Tyler's model and see if talagang easy lang yung pag-follow sa model ni Tyler. So in his model, he presented a sequential pattern from objective to content, learning experiences, and evaluation. So these are all familiar to us since this is the pattern we use when we are writing or making a lesson plan. Diba yung mga steps sa lesson plan presented sa model ni Tyler. He started from objectives, the content, learning experiences, and of course, the evaluation. So, next bullet is that according to Tyler's, he argued that curriculum developers should respond to 4 basic questions. So, merong 4 questions na kung saan daw is dapat mag-respond yung paggawa ng mga curriculum developers ng model nila, that it should be answered by those 4 basic questions. So, ano-ano ba yung 4 basic questions na yun? And that kung yung model ba ni Tyler is nag-respond din dun sa 4 basic questions. Malalaman natin yun as we go on with our discussion. So here are the 4 basic questions. First is, what educational purposes should the school seek to attain? So here in the first question, dito na papasok yung objectives. Kasi di ba, what educational purposes should the school seek to attain? Ano ba yung gustong attain ng school at the end na makagraduate yung student sa school or sa course na kinuha nila or sa kanilang program. So, papasok dito yung objectives. What are those objectives na lalagay na appropriate doon sa model na yon? So, second is, what educational experiences are likely attain these objectives? So, ano naman yung mga experiences na nakapaloob doon sa objectives? So, objectives should be answered or it should be answered by those 3 domain. We have the cognitive, psychomotor, and affective. Diba? So, nakapaloob doon sa question number 2 kung ano yung mga experiences na dapat ma-attain doon sa objectives. So, number 3 is, how can these educational experiences be organized? So, dito, ano naman yung mga steps na gagawin mo? Kung ano yung strategies or techniques na gagamitin mo para mas maging organized yung pag-deliver ng lesson sa klase. And last question is, how can we determine whether these purposes are being attained? So, papasok na dito yung evaluation na kung saan i-evaluate na yung mga students if they learn something or gain something and malaman kung ano pa ba yung dapat ma-improve yung sa bata and matulungan sila for their development. So, here is the Tyler's rational model. So, makikita natin that we have the society, students, and subject matter. So, what are these 3? So, these 3 are our curriculum sources. These are our 3 curriculum sources na siya yung nagbe-benefit sa mga model na ni Ralph Tyler. So, the demand of society, the need of students, and the subject matter. And under this 3 curriculum sources is we have the philosophy of education and psychology of learning. So, what are these 2? So, this philosophy of education is our pedagogical approaches and how we approach to the students. So, diba dito yung the 7 philosophies of education? We have constructivism, essentialism, progressivism, perennialism, and so on. So, dito, dapat na ma-recognize itong dalawang to since ito yung gagamitin natin kung paano tayo mag-approach sa mga students natin since we have a different types of learners, kung paano sila matuto, kung paano sila matuto sa kanilang in their own phase. And this naman psychology of learning is these are about on how the students learn and interact with their environment. It may be visual, auditory, reading and writing, and so on. So, ito naman yung about kung paano sila matututo. Ano yung strategies natin and techniques na gagamitin para mas madaling matuto yung bata and mas magkaroon pa sila ng malalim na kaalaman about doon sa lesson na ituturo natin. And dito, pwede na tayong mag-start, di ba? From selecting and objectives down to selecting learning experiences. Next is organizing learning experiences and of course the evaluation. So a while ago, sinabi natin na dapat yung mga curriculum developers should respond to those four basic questions. And titingnan natin if Tyler's model is nag-respond to sa four basic question. So the first question is that what educational purposes should the school seek to attain? Of course, by selecting objectives, diba? Unang-unang gagawin natin yung pag-formulate and pag-select ng objectives. So it answered the question number 1. So second is what educational experiences are likely to attain this objective. So ano naman yung ano yung magiging educational experiences niyo para mas ma-attain yung objective? By selecting learning experiences. So third is how can these educational experiences be organized? So paano ba yung mga step na gagawin natin, yung procedures natin? So we need to organize the learning experiences na gagawin natin para mas maging effective and efficient yung mga strategies natin sa pagtuturo. And last, how can we determine whether these purposes are being attained? So, of course, yung pinakalas na step is yung evaluation, where we are going to evaluate the student's understanding. Verifying if they really understood the concept or the lesson. So, that was the Tyler's rational model under the linear model of curriculum development. And we have the second scholar. So, she is Hilda Taba. So, Taba's grassroots rational model is another model under the linear model. A follower of Tyler is another curriculum scholar, Hilda Taba. So, her model is a modified version of Tyler's model. Diba nabanggit natin kanina? The Tyler's model is the first developed model. So, naging siyang basis ng other curriculum model. So, yung modelo ni Tyler is a modified version of yung model ni Tyler is a modified version ni Taba. So, malalaman natin kung ano yung mga additional inputs na nadagdag ni Hilda Taba sa kanyang model. So, Taba argued that curriculum development should follow a sequential and logical process, and she suggested for more information input in all phases of curriculum development. So, katulad din kay Tyler, di ba? That Tyler also argued that when we are going to develop a curriculum, it should be logical and systematic. So, as well as kay Taba, na should follow a sequential din and logical process. So, we have here the 7 steps when developing a curriculum. So, ito naman yung kay Taba. Sa kanya is a steps kung paano yung pag-develop ng curriculum. So, we have here the first, diagnosis of needs. Second is formulation of objectives. Third is selection of content. Fourth is organization of content. Fifth is selection of learning experiences. Sixth is organization of learning experiences. And last is determination of what to evaluate and ways and means of doing it. As we can see, na there are the similarities of Tyler's model to Taba'S model. So, makikita natin that Tyler's selecting objectives is same as the formulation of objectives kay Taba. While those selecting learning experiences is similar to the number 5 step of Taba, the selection of learning experiences also. So, third is organizing learning experiences, same as the 6th step, organization of learning experiences, and the evaluation is same as the determination of what to evaluate and ways and means of doing it. So, ano yung mga additional input na naroon sa model ni Taba? We have first the diagnosis of needs, selection of content, and organization of content. So Hilda Taba added three steps sa kanyang model. Parang because Hilda Taba wants to she suggested that she suggested for more information input in all phases of curriculum development. Kaya nagdagdag siya ng tatlong step, 'di ba? Kasi sabi, 'di ba, it is her Taba'S model, her model is a modified version of Tyler. Kaya may four similarities doon sa model niya and model ni Tyler, and that there are three additional inputs sa kanyang model. So Tyler has 4 steps while Taba has 7. Taba suggested that to make a curriculum development more successful, diagnosis of needs is needed. We have to consider our learners and know their needs so that we can create a relevant and responsive curriculum for them. Of course, we should diagnose their needs kung ano ba yung talagang pinakakailangan nila para maibigay natin, para mas makapagbigay tayo ng malinaw and relevant discussion topics sa kanila, and avoid those hindi naman mga kailangan na malaman pa ng mga students natin. So, objectives are the most important part of curriculum development because the objective is the goal that will set the direction for the rest of the curriculum that we are trying to design. So, napakalaga na malinaw yung ginawa yung objectives natin, since siya yung pinakaunang steps, di ba? Dito sa linear, starting with objectives up to the evaluation, that it is essential to have a clear objectives na yun yung ma-attain, yung gustong i-attain ng school sa mga students after they graduate sa course nila or sa program nila. So, those two are the initial model under the linear model, and may iba pang model under the linear model that be discussed by other reporters. So, that's all for my discussion, and I hope that you remember something from me, from starting the first linear model kay Tyler and Hilda Taba'S rational model. Thank you.